Hello everyone, I'm Maheshwari, Group Product Manager for Dataverse at Microsoft.
And I'm Karissa Rohde, a Principal Product Manager, also for Dataverse at Microsoft.
Today, we want to walk you through something that we are hearing is top of mind for a lot of our enterprise customers. It's data governance. Not governance as an afterthought, but governance as a core capability that keeps pace with the speed of AI. Because as agents proliferate, as more of your business logic moves into Copilot and autonomous workflows, the data that powers all of that has to be managed, controlled, governed, and trusted. Okay, let's get into it. Before we talk about governance, let me quickly set the stage for where Dataverse sits in the ecosystem, because it shapes why governance matters so much here. Dataverse is the enterprise data platform that connects three worlds. First is the foundation for operating and scaling enterprise workloads, like running Dynamics 365 or large-scale custom applications. Dataverse is what you're building on. Second is the platform for building custom apps on your organization data. For example, Power Apps, with capabilities like Elastic Table for scale, data ingestion through Power Platform data flows, and an expanding set of developer tools, including Python SDK and Dataverse MCP Server. It is generally a programmable data platform. And third, this is where things really get exciting. Dataverse is the intelligence layer for Copilot and agents. Your Dataverse tables are the memory and knowledge where you store what makes sense for your agents and what makes them smarter. Now, here's the thing: when your data platform is powering agents that act autonomously on your behalf, the stakes for governance go way up. You need to know what data exists, where it is, and how long it's been there, and who can touch it. That's the bridge into our next slide. The agentic future is here, and your data needs to be ready. As per Gartner, by 2028, more than 33% of the enterprise apps will have AI capabilities or agentic workflows. We think about governance maturity along a spectrum, three stages that most organizations move through. Stage one is reactive. This is where most teams start. Something goes wrong, storage spikes, a compliance question comes up, a data access or audit happens, and you scramble to react. You are running manual checks across many environments. It works, but it doesn't scale. Stage two is guided. You've got dashboards, alerts, recommendations. You can see what's happening before it becomes a crisis. Admins and makers get actionable signals that help them make faster, better decisions. Much better. But it still requires human attention and manual execution. Stage 3 is proactive, and this is where we are taking Dataverse policies which are encoded. The platform monitors your data estate continuously, and when conditions are met, retention periods elapsed, storage thresholds crossed, sensitivity classification triggered, the system acts automatically on your behalf based on rules you have defined. This is what self-sustaining governance looks like, and it's not scientific fiction. We are building it into Dataverse today. Throughout all of this, our core principle stays constant. Dataverse is always evergreen, continuously updated, never left behind. It is always secure, compliant, performant, and reliable. We give you transparent visibility into data charges and usage. And we are deeply committed to empowering makers to build scalable agentic applications that drive real business value. Now let's get concrete. One of the most powerful primitive in Dataverse governance is the concept of data lifecycle states. Every record in Dataverse exists in one of the three states, and understanding these states is the foundation for everything we are building on in governance. The first state is live. This is your active operational data. Records here are fully read-write. They are available for use across Power Platform, Dynamics 365, and Copilot. This is the state your data is in when it's actively supporting business operations, service cases, transactions, customer records, agent memory, and so on. It is a default state and has the most impact on your live application. The second state is archived. Think of this as cold storage with governance baked in. When data is subject to regulatory reviews or simply no longer actively used but needs to be retained, you move it to archived. It becomes compressed, which reduces storage cost significantly. It's still queryable and read only, so you can still report on it and access it if needed. The third state is deleted records. This is your soft delete safety net. When you delete a record, it doesn't disappear immediately. By default, it stays in the deleted record state for 30 days. It's read-only. During that time, the structure is maintained, and critically, it can be rehydrated, meaning if a record was deleted by mistake or an agent took an action that shouldn't have, you can restore it back to life. These three states give you the control you need to manage data footprint at scale. And they are the building blocks for proactive governance policies we just talked about on the previous slide. Let me bring in Karissa for us to understand how data actually moves between these states, the action primitives, and then we will see it all in action in a live demo, is it?
Yeah, thank you so much, Manas. Let's take a look at Zava Electric, a regional electric utility that runs its customer billing operations on Microsoft Power Platform and Dynamics 365. Zava uses Dataverse to power a bespoke customer portal where residents can view their account status, see their current invoice, access monthly billing history, and pay electric utility invoices directly. Behind the scenes, Zava's billing workflow connects field technician apps to customer-facing services. Because Zava operates across multiple municipalities, each regional subsidiary runs its own production Dataverse environment. The central development team builds and tests the line of business apps here at Zava and the operations solutions. Edmonds, Everett, Spokane, Portland, Seattle, and many other municipalities all run independently deployed billing apps based on this shared architecture. Now let's dig into what lifecycle governance looks like for Zava Electric. As the Power Platform admin responsible for production environments, I review environment analytics regularly to understand how our operational apps are scaling. Here, I notice that one of the subsidiaries, Edmonds, is growing faster than expected. That's odd. I'm going to dig in a bit further. As I dig into this environment, I see that the invoice and audit tables are significantly bigger than what I expected them to be. Looking into this invoice table a bit further, I notice that the table size is growing linearly. At Zava, our policy is to delete invoice records that are older than 3 years to keep the production environment clean and performant. Since our customer base is fairly stable, I would expect the table size to be as well, not continually growing. This indicates to me that invoice records older than 3 years are still being retained inside the live billing dataset, even though customers only access up to 3 years of history through the portal. I can now follow this link to clean up any old invoice records through a bulk delete policy. Selecting records that were created older than 36 months ago and removing them to free up space. I can also schedule this cleanup to run every 30 days so that admin stays within expected compliance. Now, because Zava's customer portal and support applications rely on Dataverse search to quickly retrieve billing information, that same invoice data is also being indexed to power lookup and retrieval experiences across customer and technician workflows. Looking at the search configuration for this environment, I can see that search is enabled, which means older transactional records were expanding the billing search index for admins beyond what's actually needed to support current operational workflows. Once my delete job runs, we should see this index size reduce as well. As organizations begin using AI to assist with customer support or usage-based recommendations, that same indexed billing history can also be used to ground responses inside Copilot experiences. So keeping production invoice data aligned with live business workflows not only helps maintain portal responsiveness, it also ensures search and AI-assisted retrieval reflects how the business operates today. As organizations begin using AI to assist with customer support or usage-based recommendations, that same indexed billing history can also be used to ground responses inside Copilot experiences. So, keeping production invoice data aligned with live business workflows not only helps maintain portal responsiveness, it also ensures search and AI-assisted retrieval reflects how the business operates today. As organizations begin using AI to forecast energy demand, automate customer assistance, or generate usage recommendations, it becomes critical to ensure operational data sets, just like this one, reflect your business's current reality, not the one that existed several years ago. Today, we've shown how Zava can investigate and clean data reactively, guided by the insights and reports in the Power Platform Admin Center. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more on scaling your Dataverse governance to help your business and operations soar.